Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Monday, the 11th of January, 2021. We are in session IJ2, and you should have your journalism notebook out, your screen split, so you are ready to take notes. It's important that you take these notes because several of you haven't done that and you are not doing the assignments correctly. Your I can statement today is I can notice potential news stories by observing and recording all the information about the event as a basis for newscasts. Notice it says newscasts. That means your story that you're going to write this week is going to be in the form of a video newscast. That means you will be on camera recording your story. That means I need to see your bright and shining face. That is part of the assignment. So today in class, we're going to look at the Learn About It activity in Canvas. I'm going to talk about first person and why you do not include it in a news story. I have recorded a video example of how to do the newscast. Your assignments for today include doing the Discuss It activity, which is the discussion thread. You've done those before. Please follow the directions, read the directions. I don't know if you don't read the directions or you just don't care to follow them, but many of you might make a comment, but then you don't go and reply to someone else's comment. The assignment says that you need to do both. And in your reply, if you just say, I agree, you get a 0. And we can all agree on that because you didn't do the assignment. If you don't tell me why you agree with what you are agreeing, um, you didn't do the assignment. I should be able to look at your reply and know what the other person said. What is it that you're agreeing with? I need the details. You need to restate what they said and explain to me why you agree or disagree. All right, the other thing is the practice it. And the practice it is where you're going to record your news story, and I will explain how you go about doing that. And of course, you have Greek and Latin homework. And this week it is the odd, as in audio, audible, has to do with sound. You should know that one, it's not difficult. I've sort of revamped the assignment so it's easier for you to do. You just do it right there in Canvas and you don't have to worry about uploading anything. Also, an update on NC check-ins. NC check-in window opened today, but we will not be doing ours until next Tuesday. So the 19th of January and the 20th of January. That means we have a whole week together. Aren't you excited? I know I am. And as always, you can find the daily video lessons on the daily video lessons document. So let's get started. Let's talk about the Learn About It first of all. And I know you have your notebooks open and you're ready to take notes, right? So in your notebook, you're going to be writing a little bit about how a journalist writes a story and how they find a story. It's important as a journalist that you're always looking around, that you're always observing. I hear people say all the time, oh, I don't know, I don't pay attention to stuff like that. Well, a journalist pays attention to just about everything because you never know where a story is going to happen. You never know when you're going to see a car wreck. You never know when you're going to see someone fall. You never know when you're going to see um, a spontaneous dance break out in the middle of a park. Things happen when you don't expect it. So, as the old expression goes, when you least expect it, expect it. So, in your notes today, you are going to be writing this. A journalist, in order to write a news story, finds drama. And that does not mean, people just arguing with each other, but drama means the extraordinary, the community event, some sort of activity, something going on. Find the excitement about it. If um, if you see, well, I don't even think they really have toy stores anymore, but if you were in a toy store and you see people shopping for Christmas and they're looking at toys, and then a whole cart full of that one toy that every kid wants this year comes rolling out of the stock room, and everybody goes running to it. That's drama. All of a sudden, these people who are just wandering around looking at toys now have a purpose. Now you have a potential mob, you have a potential conflict, you have potential excitement, you have a lot going on there, and you can report on what happens. This woman threw this little old man out of her way to get a hold of this toy, and this man over here shoved his wife into the crowd so she could get closer and get a hold of a toy. And all these things start happening, and you need to remember those details in order to write your story. That's the drama. But you also need to use that journalistic tone. Also, put this in your notebook. The journalistic tone is short. That's what concise means. The journalistic tone is in third person. Third person, and I told you I'd talk about first person and why you don't use it. This is exactly why. A journalist cannot be part of the story. And if you are using I, then you're making yourself part of the story. So always write in third person. And it's one of the few times when I can tell you that you can write in passive voice. You don't say, I saw the child steal the gumball. That would be first person. A passive voice would be the child was seen stealing a gumball. You can say that. So don't say I, write in third person. And you need to be dramatic. You want to make it kind of exciting for the readers or the listeners. You don't want to bore them, but you have to be honest. Don't make things up. You guys have been hearing. You probably haven't paid that much attention, but for the last 4 years, you've been hearing an expression: fake news. You don't want to be a part of that fake news. If it's fake, it's not real, right? And if it's not real, it's not news. So you don't make things up. Don't add little things to make it exciting if it's not true. Every detail you report has to be true. Okay? I hope everybody gets that. So in your notebook, you need to have find a drama and explain that. Use a journalistic tone and explain that. Don't just put find drama and use a journalistic tone. I expect to see in your notes that you understand what it means to find drama and you understand what a journalistic tone is. That's part of what you need to do. I need to see that in your notebooks. No question about it. All right, so let's go on. So I covered first person. That's good. I have recorded a video example that will talk to you about how you turn a story into a news story. And I have done the video recording so you can watch that. It is linked on the Canvas page. And I'm not going to play it in this video. You will have to go and watch it. I do expect you to watch it, however. But I'm going to read you the text of what I reported because I want you to hear the difference. So I took a situation that I observed, that I experienced, something from around me. That's your assignment. If you look at your assignment, you're going to see, practice it, and it says record your news story. So when you go to practice it, here's what it says. Look around you, newscasters. Look around your house, yard, neighborhood, and find something interesting. For instance, maybe the kid across the street's playing basketball, or your brother's watching his favorite cartoon, or the girl next door is walking her dog. Now take your observations and make them into a news story, and remember to use the 5 W's. So it could go something like this. And here's where you got yourselves into trouble last week. Some of you just made a list: who, what, when, where, why, and how. And then put my brother playing video game, blah, 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 blah. But you didn't then write a story out of it. So you got, maybe I gave you a few points. This is your notes to write your story. That's all it is. It's like your outline. So it could look like this: who, my brother; what, he's playing video games; when, Tuesday, November 3rd at 10 a.m. Where, on the couch in the living room of my house; and why, he's avoiding his schoolwork and snuck into the living room. So make sure that once you note all of your observations, you write them into paragraph form. Make sure once you note your observations, you write them into paragraph form. Remember to give as many details as possible, but make sure they're facts. And submit your investigative work here by recording your news story. Watch this video to see exactly how to make your video, and I will link it there. But I'm going to put this in student view for a moment because I want to show you what you need to do. It's very simple. And you know what? We're half a school year in. If you do not know how to work your way around Canvas by now, you better take some extra time of your own and start learning it. Because there's no excuse for you not to know it by now. So under student view, here's what you would see, of course. Here's your instructions, and then it says submit assignment. So click submit assignment. And because you can only do a recorded submission, that's all you have. It says record or upload media. So click record. And here I am. Hi, this is me. And then you just click start recording. So I'll hit start recording, and then 3, 2, 1. Here I am. And I would be reading my news story on camera. You can have a piece of paper with your script on it. I would definitely write it down beforehand and read it, because otherwise you're going to mess up. So when you finish, click finish. The title of it, whatever the name of your story is going to be. Okay, so if your story is called Man Bites Dog, okay, then you click save. And there's your video. See, it's right there. If you have anything you need to tell me, you can put it here, and then you just hit submit assignment. That's it. Then if you think, oh, you know what, I think I want to redo that. Of course, you get the confetti. I think that's fun. I don't know why. I don't have much of a life. You can hit resubmit and do it over again if you want to. If you're happy with it, then just move on. Okay, going out of student view. Coming back home. So that's how you're going to record your news story. But make sure you watch my recording first, because I did a news story. I did an actual news story, and I also did it the wrong way to show you what you should not do. I have a don't and I have a do. It's the same story, 2 versions. All right, the other thing that I need for you to do today or this week is your Greek and Latin assignment, and it is on the audible, has to do with sound. Um, and I have actually, here, let me go back here. I'll go to assignments, and I will show you what it looks like. It's under homework. It's going to take a while. You know how that goes. Okay, so Astra was last week's. You see that it is closed. You can no longer submit it. By the way, I told you I'm not taking work after midnight on Friday. I meant it. Some of you tried to turn some things in over the weekend. I'm not grading them. It's a zero. It's not going to change. So this week, this is due Friday the 15th at 11:59. This is the odd assignment. Not odd ODD, but odd AUD. So I told you I'm new at Cami and I'm still figuring things out, but I think I have it figured out now. One of my students did tell me that it looked right, and so I trust him, and hopefully it all works. It does take a moment to load, of course. Everything takes a moment to load, but you'll see it's already in Cami for you. And this looks just like the one from last week. It's got the definition, odd or oddie, it means to hear, and your words are audible, audience, audio, audition, and auditorium. Again, it repeats down here because it just took half a page, so they put it in twice. So remember, you're going to either use a text box or the markup tools to answer all your questions. And again, if I go into student view, let's see what I find. Okay, here it comes. Okay, it's all in here for you to do. If I'm not mistaken, no, you don't want to add more pages. Once you do it in here, I think that it just automatically submits to me. I don't know. I'll have to check on that. As I said, I'm still new at this, but the students who have done this already, it worked just great. So just fill this out, and each one will be an individual. It will have your name on it, so you don't have to make a copy. All right, so that is pretty much what I needed to talk to you about today. Please remember, ladies and gentlemen, your deadlines are hard deadlines. Friday at midnight. Some people turn things in on Saturday. Some people turn things in on Sunday. I'm glad you did the work, but I'm not going to take it. And I'd like to say I feel bad about it, but I don't, because if you don't learn now, you're going to be in serious trouble in high school. And you're going to be in more trouble out in the real world when you have a job, when you're expected to do things on time and you don't. I would be doing you a disservice if I keep coddling you and saying, oh, it's all right. When you get to it, you go ahead and turn it in. Because real life doesn't work that way, ladies and gentlemen. And if I make an exception for one, I have to make an exception for all. So it's not going to happen. So remember, you are in session 2. You need to look at the learn about it. You need to watch the video of the example. I will post that on the I'll post that on the page where you have to record your story. I will probably post it other places as well. It is in the video log too. So if you have any questions, I do wish you'd come to class and ask them. If not, send me an email. I'll be happy to answer. And that is all for today. T2 out.